Hare Krishna and welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita sessions. We are trying to discuss 18 chapter in 18 sessions. So it's a very ambitious project and it's a crash course of Bhagavad Gita. Um, and I'm trying my best to share what I know, and all of you are doing your best to receive whatever I'm able to transfer, I'm able to share with you all. So let's hope this continues and all of you retain enthusiasm to complete all 18 chapters, which will take another few months. But nevertheless, please keep joining with the same enthusiasm as you started off with the first chapter. And please complete studying Bhagavad Gita. We'll have a couple of other lectures from senior devotees as well for your benefit. But barring that, Bhagavad Gita sessions, please keep attending. Don't give up Bhagavad Gita. With that, let's move forward with the today's session. The topic for today is the most confidential knowledge, and we are entering into the heart of Bhagavad Gita. So this is the core message of Bhagavad Gita is packed in this one particular chapter, which is all important chapter, the most important chapter, and therefore it is considered to be the topmost secret, topmost knowledge. So let's go through this. As we spoke in the previous last couple of sessions, we had the Ganesh Chaturthi festival. The attendance was really low, and I hope everyone catches up this time and stay back until completing this chapter. We have about 34 verses to cover today, so it will be a longish session. I'll try and have a couple of group discussions as well. So feel free to raise your hand and speak or unmute and speak. My emphasis will be encouraging all of you to speak so that we understand how much is your understanding. Not speak in between, but whenever I'll ask you to speak, then you can speak. So, so we the seventh chapter, the 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 nectar of Bhagavad Gita is packed in the middle, from chapter 7 to chapter 12. The first six chapter prepare us for that, and second last six chapter conclude our understanding that is given in the middle section, that is 7 to 12. So, so we started seventh chapter by this beautiful verse, which gives a call for hearing. Hear attentively. The process of hearing is the way, and the process of hearing was called out. Tat shrunu. And what should happen when you hear? You should get knowledge. You will get knowledge. Knowledge will clear your doubts. Doubts with clear mind, you will be able to take shelter of Krishna. You will know what is right, what is wrong, and you will be able to then choose the correct path. When you choose the correct path, you have to perform devotional service. You still need to walk the path. So that happens when you start performing devotional service, when you start doing japa, chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, reading of Bhagavad Gita, uh, giving up following four regulative principles, giving up sinful activities, giving up meat eating, and other things, and also taking Vaishnava association, taking association of devotees who are also trying to follow similar process, so that we learn from them, and we become friend with them, and eventually uh, we both progress together towards Krishna. Attachment to Krishna. Mai asakta mana partha. This is the first word of the seventh, the first verse of the seventh chapter. Mai asakta, become attached to me. And the when you are attached to Krishna, you will want to hear about Krishna, and therefore it is a cycle. Hearing, knowledge, clearing of doubt, taking shelter of Krishna, performing devotional service to Krishna wholeheartedly, not half-heartedly, not with doubts. तो क्लियरिंग ऑफ डाउट्स तो हो गया, तो अभी आप होल हार्टेडली भक्ति करेंगे, एंड व्हेन यू डू दैट, you get attached to Krishna, then you want to hear more about Krishna, and that's how the cycle continues. We heard in the seventh chapter of Bhagavad Gita that Krishna says, I am Lord, and this is I am, that is I am. I've just highlighted few important things. Ability in men in Krishna. Krishna says, I am the ability in men. These are the ways covered from chapter in the chapter 7 chapter from verse 8 to verse 12. The verses cover this aspect. And in various verses, Krishna says, this is what I am. This is what I am. And then it is, I am the taste in water. I am the light in the sun and moon, and so on and so forth. So ability in men. So I have ability to speak. You have ability to hear. When permission is withdrawn by the super soul in your heart, your ability to hear will go. My ability to speak will come go. It is there today because Krishna is allowing us to do that. So this ability of doing some basic things also comes from Krishna. Ability, I may have desire to eat a feast, a lot of food, which I like, but ability to digest comes from Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, that aham vaishwanaro bhutva praninam deham ashrita prana apana sama yukta pachamya anna chaturvidham. That I help you digest the food stuff that you are eating. Four kind of food stuff. As a Vaishwanara, I reside in your belly and I help you process, I help you digest the food that you are eating. So you may have desire to eat food, but you have no capacity to digest that food without taking help from Krishna. So much is our dependent on Krishna. And we think, we are very powerful, we are very smart, we are very intelligent. No, no. Krishna says Krishna is the intelligence of the intelligent people. जो बुद्धिमानों की जो बुद्धि है, Krishna says, I am that बुद्धि. Power of the powerful people, prowess of the powerful people. अगर कोई शक्तिमान है, तो Krishna says, his power is me. Strength of the strong people. He is the strength of the strong people. So, uh, if this is all is possible only because of Krishna. Krishna is giving us these things, and therefore we have these things. Uh, Another important point made by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, is this beautiful verse, Daiviya Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratvaya. Mam evam ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. Up tarantite, taran talav. Taran is swimming. Taran talav is Hindi, Marathi word, alternate word for swimming pool. So swim over Maya, swim over Maya, to cross over Maya. Maya is often described as ocean. Uh, but Krishna says, Daivi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratvaya. My energy, Maya is my energy. She is working under my supervision. She's working here. You can see in the picture, Jadurani Mata Devidasi has painted this. These are the people who are acting in the material world and they are being controlled by the three elements of three gunas of three gunas of Rajasattva and Tamas guna. And so this is Maya Devi. And Krishna says, I am above her. So I am her boss. I am her supervisor. She work under my supervision. She doesn't work independently. Maya Devi in our material world is Durga Devi. So she's like a jail superintendent. So she's giving us punishment. She's giving us all the sufferings that we get as a punishment, as a fruit to our activity, colorful activities in the past. So it is very diffuse. Very Krishna says it is very difficult to overcome. We can take it for granted. It is impossible to overcome. But how it can she can still be overcome? Krishna says, "Mam eva ye prapadyante." अगर कोई मुझे शरण आता है, मेरी शरणागति कोई ले लेता है, then such a person is able to float over Maya. So generally we do this activity that हमको why we should come out of Maya. What is the problem with Maya? Can somebody quickly unmute and speak? Why is Krishna asking us to cross over Maya? What is the problem caused by Maya? Problem क्या है Maya Devi से? Somebody can unmute and speak very quickly. We don't want to spend a lot of time to get free. But क्यों? क्या प्रॉब्लम है माया से?
Hare, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा.
Uh, Maya creates delusion. Delusion means for right we think it's wrong, and for wrong we think it's right.
ओके,
That's Maya
कोई
dream.
एग्जांपल दे सकते हैं माता जी? ये वेरी
Hmm.
नाइस, वृंदा माता जी, यस, और एनीबडी, और पारुल माता जी आप दे सकते हैं कोई एग्जांपल? लस्ट एंड अनवांटेड डिजायर्स गेट डेवलप, ओके,
Like
ओके,
we feel कि this body is the only truth. अभी ये
बॉडी
जो
इज
लाइफ है
ओनली ट्रू,
बस इतना ही है. इसके बाद कुछ नहीं है. We cannot think beyond that.
ओके,
This is again
वेरी
a
नाइस,
delusion. जो मेरे एसेट्स हैं, जो मेरा पोजेशन है, दैट इज द ओनली ट्रू पोजेशन. ये भी डिलीजन ही है.
दोज आर
और
आवर्स,
ये सो मेनी टाइम वी थिंक नहीं, ईश्वर क्या है, कुछ नहीं होता है, कुछ नहीं है, जो है सामने दिख रहा है, विच इज द परम सत्य, एंड वी फील इट्स रॉन्ग.
it's wrong, okay, so Maya make us believe things which are untrue to be true. जैसे हम सपना देखते हैं when we get a dream. बैजू प्रभु जी, you want to say something?
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। या जैसे अर्जुन को माया आ गया था, मेरे दादाजी हैं, बाकी लोग, ही यूज टू
हाँ,
थिंक दैट ये सब मेरे परिवार वाले हैं। तो कृष्ण भगवान ने समझाया कि नो नो, वी ऑल आर सोल, और हम कभी मरते नहीं, इटर्नल है, राइट। तो वो माया एक, हम बोल सकते हैं कि पारिवारिक माया, दैट कैन बी।
yes, yes, that's true. Very nice. So, just say in a dream, we think what we get a when we get a dream, we see some things. We sometimes we are we sing we see sometimes we have become a king, and we are living in a palace, and we have so many servants, and I have so much opulence. But वो dream होता है. When we wake up, we forget. Oh, we thought or क्या dream था, and then we don't behave like a king. We just behave like whoever we are. We go to office and we have a boss, we have 2 3 people working under us, we get salary, we don't have khazana just like king. वो तो सपने में होता है, that's like maya, that is maya. But when somebody start believing himself to be what he see himself in the dream, that becomes a problem in the real life. In real life you cannot behave like thinking that you are a king. Who will listen to you? You don't have money, you don't have servants, you are a servant of someone instead of that. So this is maya make us believe that we are this body, and this is our only life. These are my relatives. Now they are my relatives. That's true. In this life, they are my relatives, but eternally they are not my relatives. In previous life, somebody else were my parents, somebody else were my spouse, and somebody else were my children. And in the next birth, I will get a new set of parents, maybe dog parent, hawk parent, or donkey parent, or whatever, mosquito parents. We don't know. And we will have another siblings, another children, another set of children, and the story continues. So Maya make us believe that what you see around you is real. Maya make us believe that this world is real. This world is temporary. This world is not real. And this is not the only world that exists. There is a spiritual world that exists beyond this world. So when we are in Maya, we have thought of becoming happy. All our efforts are directed in the direction of becoming happy in this world, because then we have no conception of the other world. Similarly, that's why it is important to come out of Maya. So it's like when we sleep, it is important for us to come out of our dream. And so that is important, that is very crucial. If we try to live in a dream, we see dream in our sleep state. We are sleeping, that time we get a dream. In our awake state, we enter into, Prabhupada say, another dream, because now we think I am the owner of this house, and these are my children, she's my wife, and this is my job, this is, I have so many assets, I can live eternally. Now this is, I we wake up from one dream but enter into another dream. So we need to wake up to from this second dream also. We consider first dream to be dream when we wake up. Oh, I don't have a palace. Sometimes we in the dream we say that we are being chased by a tiger. Suddenly, our sleep breaks and we wake up, we are sweating, and but we find ourselves comfortably sitting, sleeping on a bed in a air conditioned bedroom under a fan, around surrounded by our family members, and then we say, oh fine, there is no tiger, so let me go back to sleep. But when we wake up, we enter into another dream. Now, this dream, we consider this dream to be our reality. That is the problem. Krishna says This is Maya. Maya make you believe that this is your problem, and that's how you have to overcome that Maya as well. So, and how you can overcome, Krishna says by your own effort you cannot. When Krishna says very difficult, we should consider impossible. But if you says, Krishna says, if you surrender to him, अगर वो शरणागति करते हैं, कृष्ण की शरण लेते हैं, then it is possible for you to overcome Maya. Maya will not trouble you. Moving on, seventh chapter was another very important chapter where we discuss four type of people who come to Krishna and another four type of people who don't come to Krishna. Krishna says, Mudha, प्रपद्यन्ते नराधमा, माया या अपहरता ज्ञानम. ये ज्ञानी लोग हैं बट उसका माया ने अपहरण कर लिया है, उनका ज्ञान माया ने अपहरण कर लिया है, बुद्धि अपहरण कर ली है. एंड जो आसुरी भाव रखते हैं, जो कृष्ण को मारना चाहते हैं, सो दैट बोलते हैं हम कृष्ण बनेंगे, यू नो, दैट आसुरी भाव. हिरण्यकशिपु हैड दैट आसुरी भाव. Vishnu is my problem, so let me kill Vishnu and I will become Vishnu of this universe. Now that was his thought process. It's like, but Vishnu is not like number one Roger Federer. जो कोई सोचे कि मैं अच्छा टेनिस खेलूंगा, उसको हरा दूंगा और मैं नंबर वन बनूंगा. Vishnu is not that category of person. He is completely different category only. So he is not to be competed with. He has to be served. You have to surrender to him and serve him, and then you can become happy. Then only you can become happy. Then four type of people who surrender to Krishna, who comes to Krishna. कौन है ये लोग? Arto. No, we have a lot of problem in the material world. um no, my job is, I don't have a good job, I'm not very good with studies, I don't look good, I don't have good family, my family trouble me, my boyfriend trouble me, my spouse is troubling me, my children are troubling me, my health is troubling me, my boss is troubling me. So I have so many troubles, I have trouble driving on the roads in Mumbai. I have I'm very angry with my government. I'm very angry with my cricket team not winning all the matches. I'm so problematic. The life is so problematic. And but the devotees of Krishna, when they are in problem, they come to Krishna. They don't go anywhere else. So those are arto. When we are in trouble, we remember Krishna. That is good. Krishna says, good, that's fine. When that, at least वो बहाने से तो आप मेरे पास आते हो. So he's happy. So even if you come to Krishna at the time of trouble, the Krishna says that's fine. Let them come. Let them come. Eventually, they will become my devotee. जिज्ञासु, जिज्ञासु जिनको जिज्ञासा है कि ये कैसे चलता है वर्ल्ड, ये यूनिवर्स कैसे चलता है, बारिश कौन देता है, सन गॉड कौन है, सन ऐसे कैसे 6:40 को आ जाता है, उसके पास भी वॉच है क्या, उसका वॉच मुंबई टाइम से सिंक कैसा है, क्योंकि कोलकाता में वो डिफरेंट टाइम में आता है, मुंबई में इट कम्स एट डिफरेंट टाइम एंड बोथ टाइम कैन बी प्रेडिक्टेड एंड मॉनिटर्ड. सो कृष्ण सूर्य सुनता कैसे है, हाउ डज दैट लिंक वर्क, एज अ मैथमेटिशियन और as a scientist predicting sunrise time for Kolkata and Mumbai and sun complying with both the times, how does it happen? Then, so there are many questions a Jigyasu person will get, and they will inquire. They'll inquire and they will come to Krishna consciousness. So they will come to Krishna because they will understand that Krishna is overseeing all the demigods. Jnani, Artharthi are the ones who um, before exam student inflow in temple increases because they want to pass. They've probably not studied but they want to pass. So अर्थार्थी, मैं भक्ति करूंगा, मुझे कुछ दे देना भगवान, मेरा ख्याल रखना, मुझ में ध्यान देना, मुझ में मन लगाना. इस तरह से those who do some deals with Krishna for getting some material benefit, they come to Krishna. Krishna says that is also okay, please come to me. And Jnani, but Krishna says Jnani is the best out amongst all. Then we discuss chapter 8. Chapter 8 is all about attaining Krishna, and we discuss in the acronym we use here was death. DEATH. We accept one body after quitting another body, depending on desires stored in our mind at the time of death and good and bad karma in our account. अंतकाले च माम एव स्मरण मुक्त्वा कलेवरम यह प्रयाति समद्भावम याति न्यास्त्यत्र संशय. इसमें कोई संशय नहीं है किसमें, कि आप मेरे, यू विल अटेन मी, यू विल कम टू मी. कब आप मेरे पास आएंगे, वेन यू विल रिमेंबर मी एट द टाइम ऑफ योर डेथ. अंतकाल, वेरी क्लियर इंस्ट्रक्शन दैट एट द टाइम ऑफ डेथ while giving up your body you remember me, you will come to me. Then but Is it? But what if I don't remember Krishna? Then verse 6, yam yam vapis maran bhavam. जो जो आपका भाव होगा at the time of giving up your body, that 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 is what that state you will attain, O Kaunteya. So that state you will attain without fail. Now, so this is called law of last thought. लास्ट थॉट जो अंत में अंत काल में जो हमारे मन में होगा, हमारे क्या मन में हो सकता है? If you remember people dying in your family members or friends, whoever, wherever you have witnessed death, uh, look, people think all kind of things at the time of dying, and some of those attached family members will think about the family welfare. Some of those attached, those who are attached to wealth will think of wealth. Those who are attached to women will think of women, that I'll not be able to enjoy women. Those who are attached to sports will keep thinking about sports. Those who are attached to, so problem is whatever we are attached to, we will think about that. We will think about that. So if you are attached to property, we will think about property. ये प्लॉट ऑफ लैंड लिया था, यहाँ पे इतने पैसे हैं, ये बैंक अकाउंट में इतना है, ये स्टॉक मार्केट में मैंने यह इतना इन्वेस्ट किया था, वो तो अभी गया ऊपर है, मेरी फैक्ट्री, मेरा स्टॉक, मेरी ये, मेरा वो, मेरा फ्लैट, मेरी कार, एंड सो मेनी थिंग्स. ये, so whatever we are attached to, we will remember that. So that's why beginning of 7th chapter, Krishna said, you please get attached to me, so that when you will, when the difficult time will come, the time of death will come, you will remember me. uh, and that's how that's what Krishna is suggesting. So sixth verse is a general instruction, कि whatever you will remember, that bhav you will attain. But Krishna, fifth verse, Krishna says specific instruction. If you remember me, you will come to me. And the seventh verse, Krishna gives a secret about how to remember Krishna. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha. कि आप perform your prescribed duties by remembering me. Not once a day, not once a hour, once every hour, but sarveshu kaleshu. बहुत important है कि sarveshu kaleshu means practically all the time, every time. And that's how in the background we should remember Krishna. How? In the background, I know that the lights can go any moment. In the background, I know internet can get switched off any moment. However, when I'm speaking, I have temporary, forgetfulness of those aspects. But and that's why I'm able to speak properly. So when I, as a student, when you're working, when you're studying and attending college, you should attentively attend college. However, your morning program, your daily sadhana should be so strong that in the background, you'll always remember Krishna. You will see things, you will remember Krishna. You will see some beautiful forms, you will remember Krishna. Krishna is so beautiful. You will remember Krishna while drinking water. Every day, how many times you drink water? Krishna says, I am the taste in water. If you find somebody intelligent, Krishna, you should remember Krishna is intelligence of the intelligent people. If you find, when you see some ability in people, ability to speak nicely, ability to do something nicely, ability to breathe, ability to digest food, ability to do anything and everything, you should remember Krishna. This ability in that person has come from Krishna. Ability in Amitabh Bachchan to act nicely in movies come from Krishna. Ability to speak, of that his voice is very nice, that comes from Krishna. Lata Mangeshkar's beautiful voice also came from Krishna. So and so forth. So when we function in the world, in the background, we can always remember Krishna, while in the foreground, front में हम we should do things what we are supposed to do. So if you are supposed to be a student, you should study nicely, thinking of Krishna in the background. If you are supposed to be a working professional, businessman, family man, a homemaker, you should do your duties, respective duties nicely. And but in the background, you should remember Krishna. And that remembrance gets cultivated by daily sadhana. When you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day in association of devotees, then you cultivate that constant remembrance of Krishna. Then you will never forget Krishna. If you have a strong sadhana in the morning, you will never forget Krishna. So hearing is important, but practical application is most important. Only then it will be possible for us to remember Krishna constantly. And if we remember him constantly, at the end of our life also, we will be able to remember him nicely. The most confidential knowledge, chapter 9. The acronym we will use today is King. Knowledge, we'll discuss that from verse 1 to 3. Inconceivable relationships comes from chapter 4, verse 4 to verse 10. Verse 10 is beautiful verse, Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. Non-worship. Non-worship, who are those who don't want to worship Krishna, covered in the large section from verse 11 to verse 25, and glories of Bhakti, that is verse 26 to 34. End of the class, please tell me if you got the most confidential knowledge or no. So let's see what does knowledge means. Now, there is a progression of knowledge. If you have, most of you have attended most of all the classes, you've been very attentive. All this audience has been very nice. Snail Mataji just joined. She has been attending all the classes very nicely. So all of you are been very attentive in the class in all the sessions. Or those who are not able to attend, at least they are able to catch up using recordings as well. So you would have witnessed, you will see that there's a progression. It's not knowledge. जैसे school में progression होता है, progression of knowledge. When you go in the fifth standard, you learn everything that is taught in fifth. But when you may become number one student in the fifth standard, but when you go to sixth standard, you start relearning again. So the concept becomes broader. The knowledge goes deeper, and that's how you progress. So similarly, in Bhagavad Gita also, we see progression of knowledge. The chapter 1 primarily set the context of the war. There is a pastime that is there. Duryodhana is speaking, Dhritarashtra is talking, and so on and so forth. So there is a Bhishma is there, Drona is there. Every a lot of names we come across. Those who have come to the battlefield with a desire to fight. So all of this set the context. ये क्या है? Backdrop क्या है? ये भगवद गीता बोला है, but what is the background of it? Then comes chapter 2. Chapter 2, Krishna begins his instruction by separating. Arjuna is mixing things up. He's saying Bhishma is one person, one identity. Dronacharya is one identity, is one person, one whole thing. Arjuna is not able to see the bifurcation, the differentiation in spirit and matter. Bhishma has a body and also has a soul. Now, the name of the body is Bhishmacharya in the current life, but soul is different. And the soul will continue to exist in the another body. And so Krishna begin this instruction, his instruction by separating matter from body. And that is what the second chapter talks about predominantly. Then comes chapter 4. Now, knowing that I am a soul, I am eternal soul, I cannot be killed, and so on and so forth, is good but not good enough. Why it is not good enough? Because what do I do with this knowledge? As if even if I am a soul, at 1 p.m. I become hungry. I need food. I need, when the October heat will start, I need a shelter. As a soul, I am in a body, and this body has certain needs. There's a need for shelter, there's a need for clothing, need for food, need for some comforts, need for some happiness, need for joy. So all those needs are also there for my body. As long as soul is inside the body, he will have to take care of the body, so we'll have to act. So how do I act, and what do I know, what is right thing to do, what is wrong thing to do? And then comes chapter 4, where Krishna gives secret, will reveal. Krishna has revealed deeper some knowledge about himself. Now Krishna in the first initially doesn't start Bhagavad Gita saying that I am supreme personality of Godhead and whatever I speak you do. And he doesn't, he build up the tempo. He's been building up the tempo. So for the first time he speak about himself is in chapter 4. And we have seen those verses where he says that how he is the God, Lord of all the demigods also. How his body never perishes, therefore he can remember all the births, while Arjuna, you cannot remember them. So there are many beautiful verses, and then he says that Dharma Samsthapanarthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. I come, I appear in every yuga to protect my devotees and to punish the miscreants. And therefore, Krishna does not take birth. He comes. He appears at his own sweet will. And then in the ninth verse of fourth chapter, Krishna says, if you just know in Tattva the 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 reason for my appearance and my activities, the tattva behind my appearance and activities, you will develop attachment to me. You will become my devotee. You will perform devotional service. You will remember me constantly throughout your life, and you will remember me at the end of your life, because of which you will come to me, and because you will come to me, you will not have to take birth again. Now, so he's basically given us the goal that human life is not meant to become a graduate or postgraduate or to get some professional degree or to from one house to make four houses, or not to buy the most expensive car, not to purchase the most expensive dress, the latest most expensive dress in the market, not to be ahead of fashion, not to become the most eloquent speaker in the century, in the country, not to become the Miss World or Miss Universe or Miss whatever. So all that is fine if you're doing it, but your goal of your life is to go out of, end the cycle of repeated birth and death by going back to Krishna. So Krishna is given that in the fourth chapter. So that's why that section become confidential knowledge. Can there be more confidential things? Yes, that's revealed in chapter 7 and 8, which we have heard that Krishna specifically is asking Arjuna to surrender to him, remember him constantly, and go back to him. And then comes the most confidential knowledge that we are going to discuss now. The chapter begins with a beautiful verse. Idam tute guhyatamam pravakshyam anusuyave jnanam vijnana sahita yad gyatva mokshashe shrubhat. So Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realizations, knowing which you shall be relieved of miseries of the material existence. Very important verse. Um, Non-envious, you are never envious of me. So Krishna is giving him the qualification that I'm speaking, pravaksham, I'm speaking anusuya way. Anusuya way means you are never envious of me. Idam tute guhyatamam pravaksham anusuyave. I am speaking this knowledge to you because you are never envious of me. And what kind of knowledge it is? Idam jnanam. Idam jnanam means jnana, that knowledge of bhakti yoga, devotional service. Now, vijnana sahita, jnanam vijnana sahita means it is not just theory. I will give you practical realizations also. That is what a vijnana sahita. Yet gyatva mokshasya shubhas. If you know this, you can become perfect in your life, and you can you can actually attain liberated. Now, Krishna is property of his pure devotees. Now, Prabhupada writes in the purport that why, as a devotee hears more and more about the Supreme Lord, he becomes enlightened. This hearing process is recommended in both Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, hearing, from whom we should hear, it's not there are 100. If you Google on YouTube or Bhagavad Gita, you will have thousands and thousands of videos that will pop up. So Prabhupada said, not everyone has authority to speak Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is property of his pure devotees. So those who are devotees of Krishna, only they should speak on Krishna, about Krishna. Others should not. What is the problem? Here what Prabhupada mentioned, this cannot be achieved by the association of mental speculators or academic scholars, for it is realized knowledge. Now, mental speculators and academic scholars, now because they are not devotees of Krishna, they don't have realizations from Krishna. What do you mean by realizations from Krishna? Krishna said, Prabhupada writes further, the devotees are constantly engaged in Supreme Lord's service. The Lord understand the mentality and sincerity of a particular living entity who is engaged in Krishna consciousness, and gives him the intelligence to understand the science of Krishna in association of devotees. Now, this is the realization aspect. Now, this is not there with mental speculators, politicians, and academic scholars who also may choose to write commentary on Bhagavad Gita. Um, so their commentaries, unless they are devotees of Krishna, they cannot understand Krishna. Why? Prabhupada writes in the last paragraph, as you can see, Krishna is situated in your heart as a super soul. And when he see you endeavoring, trying with sincerity and commitment, uh, Krishna gives you intelligence to understand the science of Krishna. So we cannot understand Krishna without getting intelligence, extra intelligence from Krishna. Krishna says this will be revealed in the next Sunday. We'll discuss this. Is in the 10th verse of the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says that Tesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tvam Yena Mam Upayantite. Yena Mam Upayantite means by which they can come to me. By which they can come to me. Now, how people can come to me? By when Krishna gives them additional intelligence to understand him. And with that understanding, they can get attached to Krishna. With our understanding, with our intelligence, with our um, own effort alone, we cannot understand Krishna. If we can't understand Krishna in Tattva, we cannot get attached to Krishna. We cannot remember Krishna throughout our life. We cannot remember Krishna at the end of our life. Hence, our chance of going back to Krishna becomes extremely weak. But on the other hand, if we become his devotee, we become sincere, we show commitment in our practice of sadhana, early morning chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we become sincere in doing that. Then Krishna see that sincerity and gives us that additional intelligence to understand the science of Krishna. With that understanding, our doubts, we get knowledge, we get our doubts get cleared. With clear doubts, we are able to take shelter of Krishna and practice bhakti, same sadhana bhakti wholeheartedly. We can listen to Krishna Katha wholeheartedly. We can listen to Bhagavatam wholeheartedly. We can read scriptures, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam wholeheartedly, not half-heartedly. We can offer Bhoga to Krishna wholeheartedly. And when we do that, we get attached to Krishna. And then the cycle continues that we saw in the first slide. So discussion on of Krishna is very potent, and if fortunate person has such association and tries to assimilate the knowledge, then he will surely make advancement towards spiritual realization. Lord Krishna, in order to encourage Arjuna to higher and higher elevation in his potent service, described in this ninth chapter matters more confidential than any he has already disclosed. The matters which are described in the ninth chapter deals with unalloyed pure devotion. Therefore, it is called the most confidential. Unalloyed pure devotion. Pure devotion, Kevala Bhakti. Unalloyed. Alloy means when two metals are mixed and something mix. Alloy means something mix. So we have Karma Mishra Bhakti, where we are attached to karma and we are also trying to become Bhakta. We have Jnana Mishra Bhakti, where we are attached to mental speculation, our intelligence. We are attached to our intelligence. We think we are very intelligent. And we are also trying to do some bhakti. We are attached to Yoga Mishra Bhakti, where we are attached to the following of eight process of yoga, the yama, niyama, asana, so on and so forth. And where our attachment to Krishna is the secondary. Our primary attachment is with work. Our primary attachment is with jnana, or our primary attachment is with yoga. Then that is called not Kevala Bhakti. This is Mishra Bhakti. Mishra Bhakti, uh, Krishna is saying that you, ninth chapter talks about Kevala Bhakti. and that there he will be describing the benefits of Kevala Bhakti. The what happens when you become Krishna's pure devotee. What can happen? That is where this becomes most confidential. Progression of knowledge example. Uh, now in the, we are seeing a picture of Narendra Modi. How you can somebody describe, give example of few things, and which can be classified as contextual knowledge, confidential knowledge, more confidential, and most confidential knowledge with reference to this personality that you see on the screen. You have to speak. Don't go into the chat box. You need to speak this. Raise hand, and I can request you to speak. Uh, or anything that you consider as what can be, which type of information can be classified as setting the context, confidential, more confidential, and most confidential. Anybody want to take a
Hare Krishna
try?
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, Prajay.
Yes, Prabhuji. So as he is the PM of the country, so he is dealing with so many events that is happening, and those are actually those can be known to just the cabinet ministers or to very few persons. So that is the confidential knowledge about him. The more confidential is that he is a person, and in person what he does, what is his daily day-to-day activities, what means to whom the access is to just one or two persons who are living just in the very close vicinity of the PM. And the most confidential is what is going on in his mind, that what I need to plan and what I'll be executing, how the things will be happening. That is known only to him, and maybe to very close, very intimate friend of him. So that will be very most confidential knowledge in this context. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna. Dandavat
Hare
Pranam,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. So what we have done is we have given some examples. Setting the context. For example, Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister of India. He's from a political party named as BJP. Served as CM of Gujarat. Now this is context. No, this is like one of the famous public speaker in the politics. He's a Gujarati, so on and so forth. So this is like set the context of about a person. What is confidential? Who are his most trusted ministers? Who are his advisors? What strategy he used to deal with his political opponent? How he prepare for important meetings, tours, etc. This is more confidential. When we go deeper, we understand that what he eats, what he likes to eat for breakfast, what is his daily routine. Now this information need not be made publicized, and because all this happens behind closed doors, so this is more confidential. And what is his most confidential? How he interact with his close relatives, how what name, by what name his mother calls him, or brother, elder brother will call him, and how his dealings with his general very close intimate friends, that becomes most confident. Or as Vikas Prabhuji mentioned, what goes through his mind, what are his fears, he will not share those with public domain. So that becomes most confidential, Baba. Why we have to contextualize this with reference to Krishna. And we now so then comes to the point, let's come to the point of anusuya way, or non-envious of Krishna. One may think we hardly know Krishna, हम कृष्णा से भला ईर्ष्या क्यों करें? Envy means ईर्ष्या. हम कृष्णा से क्यों ईर्ष्या करें? So we hardly even person, not even person know him. We have never met him. We have never interacted him. हम ईर्ष्या किससे करते हैं? हमारा कोई फ्रेंड होता है जो उससे हम जेलसी हो जाती है, उसको ज्यादा मार्क्स मिलते हैं, उसको ज्यादा प्रमोशन मिलता है, उसको वो पहले he used to work under me, now he suddenly became my equal, now suddenly he became my boss. I will be envious of such person, and I'll fall and try to find many faults in that person, कि उसने ये सब गलत किया, इसके लिए उसका ये सब हो गया, and all that. So but with reference to Krishna, why we become Anusuya way, why we become envious of Krishna? Let's see. We follow many famous successful people in material world, but we don't feel envious of them. But why it is said then why we become envious of Krishna? Let's go deeper. Now, all Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita in the 10th chapter, that all that is attractive in this world, Krishna says, everything comes from me. If you see a beautiful person, that beauty comes from Krishna. When you say natural beauty, that comes from Krishna. When you see anything attractive in the world, किसी का voice अच्छा है, किसी के speech अच्छा है, किसी के management skills अच्छे हैं, किसी के cooking अच्छा है, whatever good in attractive in this world that you see, Krishna says it comes from me. I am the source of that. So those things broadly can be classified under these six categories: beauty, knowledge, strength or power, fame, riches, and renunciation. Now, famous people in the world may possess these things in small quantities. Adani could be Adani Ambani's may possess riches in some quantity, and because of the riches, they have some fame, but they don't have beauty, they don't have all the knowledge, they don't have all the strength, power physically, uh, and they don't have renunciation. You know, they are all attached to their wealth. So no one can claim to possess all the six in full except Krishna. So let's see what impact that has on us. So when we see famous people, we get inspired to become like them. But and in a way, while doing that, we try to become small god in our own domain, our own field of activity, semi god or small god. You know, to hear Prabhuji who used to say that I was so good in physics that I used to think that nobody can set a question paper, um, nobody can ask me questions from my syllables which I can't answer. He said he's like a god in physics. He was like a god, considered to be god on his batch. So if we all try to be small gods in our own our own little way. Sachin Tendulkar is god of cricket. Now he's gone. Now somebody else will claim to be god of cricket. Somebody becomes god in the badminton. Somebody goddess of badminton or god of badminton or tennis or god in singing, acting, and politics and so on and so forth. So that is not, when we try for that, that's per se not bad. All what we are trying to do is whatever skills and talents Krishna has given us, skill, talent, abilities Krishna has given us, we are trying to make best use of it. By rather than wasting it, it is better to make best use of it. So to that extent, it is not bad. However, generally non-devotees perceive Krishna as someone who is controlling and restricting them, giving us suffering and punishment while having good time in the spiritual world. Hence, the envy comes. So, this envy, because the we know we can't become full of all the six qualities, which is domain of Krishna, which is exclusive, um, exclusively owned by Krishna. Nobody else can become. But when we try to become very good in knowledge or skills and abilities, we are actually competing with Krishna. And that's where the envy comes in. And when we become, and we can only go to a certain degree, certain extent. Now, Adani may have become richest person in India, or Ambani may have become, but and they may become say number one in world also, but they will not be, they cannot claim to own all the riches. Krishna can. So they will never become as rich as Krishna is. Any intelligent person can never become as intelligent as Krishna is. So we all are competitors of Krishna. And with competitors, we don't have very sweet feelings. We always have envy with whom we are competing. So that's why the Irsha comes in. So, how does devotee see Krishna and how does non-devotee see Krishna? Let's find out. So, devotees see Krishna differently. They see Krishna as a guide, friend, partner, or someone who is offering help through teachings like Bhagavad Gita. He's not just personally enjoying, but he's also inviting us in his abode through instructions of Bhagavad Gita. So he's in his personally enjoying. That's true. He is in his spiritual world. Devotees understand that. But devotees also understand that he is extending his invitation, unconditional invitation to us to come to the spiritual world and enjoy with us, enjoy with him. So he's not the one going a suffering or punishment, but these are fruits of our own past middays. We'll see what does this mean in slightly more detail. And he desire us to return to him more than we desire to go back to him. We have come from him. but we have no desire. We're still trying to find out how I can become happy in this world, how I can get more degrees, how I can get more objects of enjoyments in this world, how I can become happy in this world. I'm still searching. I have no desire to go back to him, even if he promises eternal happy life ever after, no, which is how all movies end. But Krishna is also promising that, but we have no interest in going there. We said, let me try our hand first here, and if I'm unsuccessful anyway, I will go there. That's our plan B. Krishna wants us make that plan A. So Krishna is fully satisfied and does not need us to chant his name or glories or offer him food, etc. This knowledge of bhakti and processes are given for our purification so that we can stop competing with him out of envy. For that he descends in this world and performs wonderful pastime to attract attention of his devotees. All this he do out of his causeless mercy and love. He is purely for our benefit so that we can develop love for him and return to him in his spiritual abode. Glories of Krishna described in Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam work in two ways on two different type of people. So for non-devotees, when they hear glories of Krishna, their envy towards Krishna increases. And when devotee hear glories of Krishna, their love for Krishna increases. And hence, Krishna says in many places that don't tell about my glories to non-devotees. Why? It's not that it has to be hidden, but because of their envious nature, if they hear my glories, their envy will increase and their hatred will increase. So there, that will create more spiritual misfortune for those people, and their path back to Krishna will become more difficult. If you are sick, if you eat a feast, your sickness will worsen and your recovery will get prolonged. Something similar is happening here. Those who are already envious of Krishna, when they hear glories of Krishna, they find fault in Krishna. They find more fault in Krishna. They become more envious of Krishna. So their envy increases and their path back to Krishna becomes more difficult. Another beautiful verse. This whole chapter you can all memorize. Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram, Midamuttamam, Pratyaksha, Avagam Dharmam. Avagam dharmyam susukham kartum avyayam. 8 characteristics of process of knowledge of pure bhakti are described. Raja Vidya, this is king of education. Raja Guhyam, this is the topmost secret of all secrets. Pavitram, it's very purifying, purest knowledge. Uttamam is beyond darkness, very perfect knowledge. Pratyaksha Vagamam, it can be directly perceived, it can be directly experienced, and realized knowledge. This is not just have to be heard in the theory. It is perfection of religion and everlasting, and it is joyfully performed. Susukham kartum avyayam. So it is to be performed susukham. So getting up early in the morning to join japa session should be done in a susukham way. Bhajatam priti purvakam. Very lovingly we should wake up. Even though we have slept after 12 o'clock, after midnight, we should still not curse Krishna when the alarm goes off 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. We should smile. Oh, Krishna is calling us for japa. Let's wake up and join japa session immediately. Something similar. Susukham kartum avyayam. But not everyone is able to do this. Ashadhanam, those who have faithless purusha dharma sasya pradantapo अप्राप्यम मा निवर्तन्ते मृत्यु संसार वर्तमनि. So जो अश्रद्धा है, जिनमें श्रद्धा नहीं है, those who are not faithful in the devotional service cannot attain me, and anyone who cannot attain Krishna will attain repeated birth in the material world. Mrityu samsara vartmani. So they will come back to the material world, enjoying their repeated birth and repeated death, enjoying new parents in every birth, new body in every birth, new school in every birth, new spouse and children in every birth, new property, new home, new Aadhaar card, new PAN number, and so on and so forth. So it's a so the world binds them and they get bound to the world. So they cannot come to the spiritual world. And therefore their misery continues perpetually almost. So Krishna spoke on something significant here. And now, Pratyaksha Avagamam Dharmyam. Now, faith is the beginning. point. Everything starts with a faith. We should have little bit faith. All of you, 86, 84, 87 of you have some faith in Krishna. Therefore you have inquired from sadhus or devotees. Then comes bhajana kriya, anartha nivrutti, nishtha, ruchi, asakti, bhava, and prema. Let's look at these individually also a little bit in more detail. Faith means positive curiosity. Now you don't have a lot of knowledge, but you have some curiosity. You know that you are not in control. You know there are gods who are controllers. You may not know perfectly that Krishna is supreme god. There are many gods, but there is one supreme god. At this time, our our knowledge can be mixed. Maybe all gods are same, and maybe there is all gods have to be worshipped, and we may have different conception. But we know for sure that there are superior beings who are in control of this world, and if we don't have their mercy, we can have tough time on this planet as long as we live. So there is a positive curiosity. We want to find out more about this concept of God, concept of Krishna. So for that we come to devotees. We see devotees happy, doing chanting and dancing and feasting, and that always seems to be happy. They always seems to be free from all worries. And whenever we enter a temple, ISKCON temple, we also get the same experience, that our worries disappears. As long as we are in the temple, we feel very very content, very happy, free from worries. And the moment we step out of temple, all our worries catches us once again. But there is something in the temple which makes us worry free, which makes us relax, which help us get relaxed, which help us get feel happy. As long as I'm there in the temple, at least during that duration, I feel very happy. So what is it? So then for that you go to devotees and inquire from them. Devotees, so we are in this stage currently that we are discussing with devotees. We are talking to devotees. We are finding out from devotees what is in it that makes them happy, what is in it that makes them worry free, what is in it that is so that makes them so glorious. So devotees will share their secret with you. They said we do japa in the morning, we read Bhagavad Gita every day, we read Bhagavatam every day, we serve community, we distribute food, we do annadan, we help other devotees, non-devotees, explain them, give them books, and we teach them Bhagavad Gita. We help them come closer to Krishna one step at a time. And that's why Krishna becomes very merciful with us, and Krishna makes us happy. Because of Krishna we become happy, because of Krishna we become joyful, because of Krishna we become worry free. So our only worry is how to serve and love Krishna. That is the only worry we have. Nothing else. How to eat, that is Krishna's worry. How where will I sleep, that is Krishna's worry. What will I eat, that is Krishna has to figure out. So we want to love and serve Krishna, and then Krishna arranges everything for us. So bhajana kriya, Krishna will people devotees will engage you in devotional service, actual practical devotional service. This must be now it is must to experience spiritual happiness or transformation of pursuing bhakti yoga. If we if we it's like to become a better devotee, we have to experience the happiness, a first hand experience of this happiness. And therefore, we've been insisting that all of you should now take to chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra seriously, reading Bhagavad Gita daily seriously, and talk to devotees with open up yourself to the devotees, have regular conversations with the devotees, visit ISKCON temples regularly along and meet those devotees, and all that. That's how you will get first-hand experience of spiritual happiness. That is how you will progress. Your faith will deepen, and faith will get converted into nishtha. It's unflinching faith. That is nishtha. And that's how you will progress in bhakti. If you don't do that, you will remain at the shore. It's like licking honey bottle from the outside. You may think that you're licking, but you may be getting probably some small drops here and there, but the real honey is inside. And because you're outside, you are not experiencing actual taste of honey. So it's like, give an example that we can't hope to lose weight by reading about by reading a book on weight loss. We can't do that. We must act on our knowledge to experience actual effect of losing weight. Similarly, we must act on our knowledge of bhakti yoga to, by practicing bhakti yoga, to experience spiritual happiness and all the benefits that comes along with it. So to the extent we develop faith and perform bhakti or devotional service, to that extent we will get spiritual experience, and to that extent we will experience personal transformation, leading to, ultimately leading to the surrender of Krishna. Now this is our end goal. When Krishna says in 18.66, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Now it's not the first time he's talking about surrender. In 7.14 also he said, if you want to overcome Maya, surrender to me. So at multiple places Krishna has been telling this. Mam upetya punarjanma dukhalaya mashashatam. It's like, if you surrender to me, you will not take birth again in this material world, dukha, which is dukhalaya and ashashvata. So it's been multiple time, but that surrender can happen if we experience joy in bhakti, performing a bhakti, and that will come when we actually do some action around bhakti. Just knowing about bhakti is not enough. We must act in the bhakti yoga to experience spiritual happiness, and then that will help us progress towards bhakti, and that will help us surrender ultimately to Krishna. Radharani and gopis are topmost devotees because of their unconditional loving surrender and service to Krishna, not otherwise. They don't have more information, they don't have secret book about Krishna. Because of their unconditional loving surrender and service to Krishna, they become topmost devotees of Krishna. Godless atheist is an example of the other extreme. He is the lowermost human being who reject the God. And all of us are in between, hopefully moving on the positive side, moving towards the Radharani and gopis. So it's most difficult moment of Draupadi's life. She remembered Krishna and took exclusive shelter of Krishna, though she had other shelters in husband, father, brother, whom. So we should also do the same. Now, story of personal transformation we will quickly go through. This is a story of Narad Muni becoming a great Krishna conscious devotee. He was a Gandharva and he had no taste of hearing. So wherever Krishna Katha was going on, he would go stand there and make jokes, crack jokes about Krishna, and in generally he was ignorant. So he fell down. He was cursed, become a Dasiputra in his next life. But as a Dasiputra, he got an opportunity to serve Vaishnavas who stayed nearby during the month of Chaturmasa. Chaturmasa is a 4 month of rain when the mendicants or travelers, they used to avoid traveling. So they used to station themselves at one place, spend those 4 months, discuss Krishna Katha, and then as soon as the rains goes away, they would move on. So these mendicants or these devotees were staying nearby, and this Dasi, his Narad Muni's mother, and he got an opportunity to render service to them. So they used to give them prasad, they used to inquire from them. So they used to, he requested them, can I listen to your discussions? And then they mercifully agreed so. And therefore he started listening to their Krishna Katha, became interested in it, become very curious to know more. He received and followed instructions about Bhakti Yoga. He received instructions and he followed instructions about Bhakti Yoga. Eventually they left, but they made him devotee, and so he became devotee of Lord Krishna. And he eventually, his mother left her body and he left. Narad Muni left for searching Krishna. As soon as Narad Muni says in Bhagavatam, this story comes in Bhagavatam, so first canto, sixth chapter. As soon as I concentrated, he went into jungle and he went there searching for Krishna. He came to a lake, was very tired. So he drank some water, refreshed himself, and then sat under a tree concentrating on the Lord. And as soon as I concentrated my mind upon the lotus feet of the Lord, it became transformed due to transcendental love. As tears fell from my eyes, Lord Krishna appeared on the lotus of my heart. All my senses became spiritually enlivened, and very soon Lord vanished from my sight. I was wondering, क्या हो गया ऐसे? Invisible Lord spoke to me. oh boy, you will not be able to see me again during this lifetime, because one who is not complete in services and freed from all material contamination can hardly approach me. As a special favor, I have shown myself to you, just to increase your desire to come to me. By my mercy, you will always remember me and will continue making advancement in Krishna consciousness even at the time of creation or annihilation. Soon the time came for his own annihilation, where he left his previous body. He left his body, and instantaneously I received a transcendental form as Narada. Since then, by grace of Lord Vishnu, I have been traveling everywhere, both in spiritual and material world, singing on Veena glories of Lord. So the nine processes of devotional service given to us are Shravanam, that is hearing. You know, we heard the seventh chapter begin by the call for hearing, and Parikshit Maharaj is our acharya for hearing. He heard attentively for 7 days and 7 nights from Sukadev Goswami, who is our acharya for kirtanam. Kirtanam means chanting, chanting about the holy names, form, quality, and transcendental pastimes of the Lord. So, Acharya of Kirtanam is Sukadev Goswami, who spoke for 7 days and 7 nights. Parikshit Maharaj heard for 7 days and 7 nights continuously, no break. Smaranam, remembering the Lord. Prahlad Maharaj is Acharya for Smaranam. He remembered the Lord throughout his life, even when he was being paid with poison, he was remembering Krishna. Even when he was thrown from a mountain peak, he was remembering Krishna. And because he remembered Krishna, Hiranyakashipu couldn't hurt him. Pada Sevanam, Lakshmi Devi is constantly serving feet of Lord Narayana. You know, all of us want to do Lakshmi Puja on the Diwali day and we forget Narayana. She is at the feet of Narayana. If we ignore Narayana, why will she come and why will she stay with you? So we should be worshipping Narayana, and then Lakshmi ji is always there. Archanam, worshipping the Lord. Vandanam, offering prayers to the Lord. Beautiful prayers offered by many devotees. Bhishmadev, Kunti Maharani, Rutrasur, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. All the beautiful devotees have offered beautiful prayers in the glorification of Lord. Dasyam is Hanumanji, Sakyam Arjuna, and Atmanivedanam. Example of Atmanivedanam is Bali Maharaj. We recently celebrated Vaman Dwadashi. That is the day when Bali Maharaj completely surrendered himself to the Lord Vaman Dev. So, king, inconceivable relationships. Here is inconceivable Krishna. Inconceivable Krishna is very significant portion of very confusing portion of this particular chapter. Text 4, Krishna says, by me in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Text 5, yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not part of this cosmic manifestation. For myself is very source of creation. Understand that the mighty wind blowing everywhere rests always in the sky. All created beings rest in me. Krishna says, in short, I am inside everything, and at the same time, everything is inside me. But yet, I am not anywhere. I am separate. Now, this is confusing. If I am inside everything, then how can everything be inside me? But Krishna says that is how it is. Behold my mystic appearance. Pashya me yogam aishwaryam. This is my yoga aishwarya. This is my aishwarya. Pashya. See my mystic opulence. Behold my mystic opulence. That's how Krishna is telling Arjuna. He said, sounds confusing, but it is true. And how, we can discuss it at some other stage, some other time through where all of you should inspire to attend detailed Bhagavad Gita class, where each of these verse can be discussed in great length and great detail. And there, we can justify, we can do some justice to the 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 serious knowledge that has been spoken by Lord. Here we are just touching and moving forward. So please be inspired to attend the detailed Bhagavad Gita sessions as well. Don't just think this is, you're done with this 18 session, 18 chapter, you're expert on Bhagavad Gita. No, no, not likely to happen that way. So verse 7, Krishna says, "O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them. The whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again, and under my will, it is annihilated at the end. O Dhananjaya, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all the material activities, seated as though neutral. Udasina vadasinam asaktam tarum te asaktam teshu karmashu." So, Krishna, this is important, because this sets the context how great Krishna is. This tell us how merciful Krishna is, and how powerful Krishna is, how potent Krishna is. Krishna has created this universe which has these 14 planetary systems, and the seven below Bhuloka where we are all living, and the six above, the higher planetary system, and beyond that is the spiritual world. And this is just one Brahmanda. Krishna is known as Ananta Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. Ananta Koti is uncountable universes, creations, such comes out of his pores of his body. And that Krishna, who is able to lift Govardhan, those who don't know him about these potencies of him, they question how you can lift a mountain. But when he can create a Brahmanda, what's a big deal in lifting a small mountain? He can lift entire Brahmanda. He's supporting the whole Brahmanda. So when we say that this Krishna is enjoying with many girlfriends, when we forget this is his position, everything is his. So what you think is yours and you are trying to enjoy is actually your thief. You are a thief. You are enjoying Krishna's property. So, so everything belongs to Krishna. Everything is owned by and controlled by Krishna. So nothing is yours. So who are you to ask questions to Krishna? So that is what happens when we don't know things in Tattva. This is the Tattva. This is what is Krishna's potency, that I create and I annihilate. We scientists just keep talking about there will be destruction, there will be great destruction that will happen, but they don't know who creates it. Krishna says, I create it. I will annihilate it, and I will, when I want it, I will create it. When I want it, I will annihilate it. And you just be helpless. You have no choice, because you are so small. You are so under control, my control. मया अध्यक्षेण प्रकृति ही सूयते सचराचर अहेतु नानेन कौन्तेय जगद्वि परिवर्तते. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings, um, under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So the same point Krishna is making. Contrary to the claims made by Krishna, modern science teaches that the universe was created due to Big Bang. In the essence, this theory says that nothing existed because of nothing, nothing exploded because of nothing, and nothing gave rise to everything. Beautiful flower, beautiful rivers, ocean, mountains, beautiful nature. This whole system got created out of a bang. Why? Nobody knows. So no bank can create design, order, system, artistic beauty that we can witness in this world, and which human mind can understand, calculate, predict with reasonable certainty. We discuss how we can predict time of sunrise and sunset. We can calculate gravity with our mathematical formula. Why should gravity follow mathematics? Why should sun god follow a calculation made by a scientist? so so there is a higher order, there is a higher system in place. So it's not get created out of Big Bang. You need to be real fool to believe in Big Bang theory. Survival of the fittest cause evolution is also a false statement. We'll see that in the purport that Prabhat will write. At the creation, the material energy is let loose. Now we're describing a briefly, very briefly, the process of creation is described here. This is given in detail in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, third canto, even in the first canto at some places it's been mentioned. So, at the creation, the material energy is let loose. So, and as the Mahatattva. So, Mahatattva, which is Pradhan, Mahatattva, and Prakriti. So, Pradhan is where the potency is there, but it's in not in active state. Mahatattva is when it is active, and Pradhan and Prakriti is what is gets impregnated, the third stage. So at the creation, the material energy is let loose as the Mahatattva, into which the Lord, as his first Purusha incarnation as Mahavishnu, enters. It's also called as Mahavishnu or Karanodakshayi Vishnu. He lies within the casual ocean and breathes out innumerable universes, not just one, two, innumerable. Ananta Koti Brahmanda Nayaka, that's why it is called him, and enters into each universe as Garbhodakshay Vishnu. That universe, if it has to function, now he is outside as Mahavishnu or Karnadakshay Vishnu lying in the casual ocean. From the pores of his body, multiple universes comes out, and then he enters into each of those Andakruti universe as Garbhodakshay Vishnu. Now he there also there the Brahmaji appears from the navel. From the navel, a lotus comes. On the top of that lotus, Brahmaji pertaining to that universe will appear. And his will be given instruction to start creation. And Brahmaji will start creating, and Lord will again enter into each created being as Kshirodakshay Vishnu. And it's he enters into everything. This fact is maintained here. So this is what one universe looks like. It looks like in the shape of an egg or an under. And there is a Sadashiv, there is a Shivji and Durga. They are material parents, and Krishna is the ultimate spiritual parent. There is a Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Aksharodakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Karanodakshay Vishnu. All the three Vishnus, the higher planets, middle planet, lower planet, and uh, so the whole universe looks like this. And Suyate Characharam, living entities are created. Now, as far as the living entities are concerned, they are impregnated into the material nature, and as a result of their past deeds, they take different positions. Thus, the activities of the material world begins. The activities of different species of living beings also are begin from the very moment of the creation, and it is not at all evolved. It's not that we were monkey first and became humans now. Prabhupada writes in the purport that different species of life are created immediately along with the universe. Men, animals, beasts, birds, everything is simultaneously created because whatever desires the living entities had at the last destruction, annihilation, are again manifested. It is clearly indicated here by the word avasham that the living entities have nothing to do with this process. The state of being in their past life, in the past creation, is simply manifested again, and all this is done simply by his will. He doesn't have to endeavor, work very hard. We have to earn for getting 1 month's salary, we have to work very hard for 1 month. And to keep one family, small family happy, we endeavor quite a lot. But here Krishna is creating universe, not just one, innumerable universes. And it is he's not concerned with it at all. It does not consume any of his energies. Very by his simply willing he gets created. He doesn't have to work hard. This is inconceivable potency of the supreme personality of Godhead. And after creating different species of life, he has no connection with them, not attached. That's why he's renounced. The creation takes place to accommodate the inclinations of various living entities, and so the Lord does not become involved with it. We whatever we create, normally we become very attached to it. If you have done a painting, you become very attached to it. If somebody criticizes it, we feel bad. But Krishna has created it not out of his own desire, but to fulfill the inclinations of all the living entities who wanted to enjoy independently of Krishna. Therefore, Krishna creates it and just walks away. He has got nothing to do with it. From then onwards, whatever the enjoyment and suffering that the living entities suffer and enjoy in the material world is all because of their own law of karma. Krishna has got nothing to do with it. That is inconceivable. Krishna, non-worshippers. Now, most of the people don't know this, but they will want to make comment on Krishna, seeing some of his pastime. He has so many girlfriends. How can he dance with other people's wife? He's immoral God. He's this, he's that. He's not even a god. Lot of people will talk a lot of nonsense about Krishna. So avajananti mam mudham manushim tanumashritam param bhavo jananto mama bhuta bhaheshwara. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord. His transcendental nature is described in the previous verses. Because they don't know that aspect, they think he is another manusha or he is another human being. Maybe has few more magical powers, but another human being. So therefore nobody takes him seriously. And Krishna says those people are mudhas, they are foolish people, and they deride him. Avajananti mam mudha. We'll discuss. Avajananti means those who have understood him in a wrong way. The janati, ajanati, and avajanati. So this is avajananti. We'll talk about that little in a little while. Moghasha mogha karmano mogha yagya mogha jnana vichetasaha rakshase masurim chaiva prakrutim mohinim shritaha. Those who are thus bewildered, those foolish people, those who understand Krishna in the wrong way, what happens to them? They are bewildered, attracted by demoniac and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation and of their future activities and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. So they get so everything is lost for those people. We talked about Janati, Ajanati, and Avajanati. Janati is the one who knows Krishna in Tattva. This is pure devotee. Ajanati, who does not know anything about Krishna. And Avajanati are the ones who know wrongly or whose knowledge is opposite to what is right. Therefore, they deride or ridicule Krishna. So 4.9 confirms that those who know Krishna in perfection, in Tattva, go back to Krishna because and they get taktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so arjuna. So so that is the result that a janati gets. Ignorant ajanati person, when they are offered an opportunity to learn, they become learned brahmanas. So Prabhupada went to America. In America nobody had even heard of Krishna. They had some conception of God in Christian, as per Christianity, but generally nobody knew anything about Krishna. But so when Prabhupada explained to them about Krishna, Prabhupada preached them, they accepted him. And that's how they became Janati. They become perfect devotees. But Avajanati, that those who was understanding itself is wrong. They know something, but they know it in a wrong way. Their path is more difficult. The impersonalists consider Brahman as absolute truth, and Krishna having a form is a step before realizing that final step. So their path is more difficult. एक समय अजानाति can, when they are informed, they can quickly become pure devotees. But avajanati has to unlearn what they have wrongly learned and then relearn what they are supposed to learn. So their path is difficult. Take an example of avajanati. Ajanati and avajanati is Duryodhan. So Krishna went to Hastinapur as a Shanti Doop. before, to avoid war, he was speaking, that giving a message of Shanti. Let's make peace. Let's not fight. Give 5 villages. I will convince Pandavas to stop, to not ask for anything more. And Duryodhana said, "Ki I forget villages. I'll not even give land which will where a needle can fit." So even that much land also I don't wish to give to Duryodhan. So Dharmaraj, Yudhishthir. So um, so Duryodhana always Krishna consider Krishna as just another human being. For Duryodhana is interested in getting his army. He was not interested in Krishna. When he heard Krishna is not going to lift weapon in the war, then he said, "You are useless anyway. Give me your army. I am very happy." So when he came as a Shantidut, he wanted to allure Krishna to him. एंड इफ ही सेज वो हम उसको अच्छे पैलेस में रुकाएंगे, अच्छी दासियां भेजेंगे उसके पास, अच्छे से उसके खातिरदारी करेंगे, खाना खिलाएंगे, ऐश करवा देंगे उसको, सो दैट ही बिकम फेवरेबल टू अस। अगर वो नहीं माना तो उसको अरेस्ट कर देंगे, क्या कर लेगा वो। सो Krishna is Ajanati. He doesn't know his position and he is wrong. But he's planning to arrest Krishna because he is Avajanati also. He does not know his potencies. On the other hand, Bhishma always knew Krishna as Supreme God, was always devoted to him. He accepted difficult service to fight war against Krishna. But that was his service. So Krishna gave him that service, so he accepted his service. So, but he also accepted Duryodhana's challenge to kill Pandavas by investing his potency in the 5 golden arrows. He knew that Krishna will always protect his devotees. So Krishna is going to protect Pandavas. Krishna is also going to protect me because I am his devotee. And he says Krishna will have to do something very extraordinary in order to do that. So this is what Krishna does. He break his own vow to protect Pandavas and also to satisfy Bhishma. So this is what happens to a Janati, and they get mercy, ultimate mercy. So Bhishma Dev was, when he was leaving his body, Krishna personally came there and looking into Krishna's eyes, as looking at his beautiful face, Bhishma left his body and went back to Krishna. Inconceivable, Krishna continues. O son of Pratha, those who are not deluded, the great souls are under protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. सतत कीर्तयन्तो माम यतन्तश्च दृढ़व्रताः नमस्यन्तश्च नाम भक्त्या नित्य युक्ता उपासते. So always chanting my glories. How my pure devotees render service to me? Satata kirtayanto mam, satata kirtayanto, always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination. Bowing down, namasyantasin mam bhaktya, nitya yukta upasade, perpetually worship me with devotion. Now Krishna says not everybody is in this category. So he's talking about different worshippers. So those who consider Krishna as another human being, that is the worst category of people. Krishna says everything, whatever they will endeavor, it will be lost. Another category, from one extreme Krishna comes to another extreme. He says my pure devotees are always worshipping me, and for them, I am the only object of their worship and they will eventually come to me. But there are a lot of people in between. So this is one extreme, this is another extreme, and a lot of people in between who are doing either demigod worship, who are performing some sacrifices because they want some superior quality and quantity of enjoyment, and they different conception of god that they have, and they're trying to worship different entities, including Indra, including other demigods. So those who study the Vedas and drink so much juice seeking heavenly planets worship me indirectly. Krishna says avidhi purvakam, those people worship me indirectly. The purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planets of Indra, where they enjoy good delight, godly delights. ते तेत्वं भुक्त्वा स्वर्गलोकं विशालं क्षूणे पुण्यलोकं मर्त्यलोकं विशन्ति. एवं त्र एवं त्रि एवं त्र एवं त्रैधर्म मनुप्रपन्ना गतागतम काम कामा लभन्ते. तेत्वम तेतम भुक्त्वा स्वर्ग लोकम विशालम क्षीणे पुण्ये murtya lokam vishanti. Very clear instruction. It's like if you have won a lottery or won some award, and if you have sent on a holiday to some destination, let's say Goa, for 3 days, 3 nights of prepaid vacation, no charges to be paid. So you can, your flight is arranged, your stay is arranged, food is arranged, parties are arranged, everything is arranged for you, everything is prepaid. So you may go there and stay there for 3 nights and 3 days and come back. क्षीणे पुण्य मर्त्य लोक विशंति. आपका क्रेडिट कितना चलेगा? 3 दिन का है. 3 दिन होने तक आपको वहां भगवान जैसे ट्रीटमेंट मिलेगी. यू विल बी कंसिडर्ड टू बी अनदर गॉड. यू विल बी कस्टमर इन अ वेरी 5 स्टार 7 स्टार होटल. यू विल एंजॉय अनलिमिटेडली वॉट एवर यू वॉन्ट टू. बट जैसे ही 3rd डे होता है, आपका पुण्य क्षीण हो गया, खत्म हो गया. सो देयर इज नो एडवांस. 4th डे के लिए कोई प्रोविजन नहीं है. तो देन यू हैव टू कम बैक टू द मर्त्य लोक. मर्त्य आपका जहां है वहां आपको रिटर्न आना पड़ेगा. So Prabhupada writes, translation, when they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasures and the result of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to the mortal planet once again. Martyaloka is Bhuloka. Thus, thus those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. Krishna does not want us to go there. Therefore, he is warning. Say one extreme is this, another extreme is this, and a lot of people are in between. You should come to me. You should come towards me. Come towards becoming pure devotees. Come in the positive axis. Come move towards the positive axis. Don't go to the negative axis. तो उस पॉजिटिव एक्सेस में क्या करते हैं लोग? अनन्यश चिंतयन्तो माम ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषाम नित्य उपयुक्तानाम योगक्षेमम वहाम्यहम्. But these people, those who are on the positive axis, those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So those who are devotees of other gods and those who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Te api mam eva kaunteya yajantya avidhi purvakam. They do worship me because if even if they worship a devata or a demigod, ultimately whatever that demigod has to give you has to be sanctioned by me. अहम ही सर्वयज्ञानां भोक्ता च प्रभुरेव च न तु माम अभिजानान्ति तत्वेनातश्च वदन्ति ते. I am the only enjoyer and master. Aham hi. Very clearly, Krishna is talking about himself now, openly, very categorically. He's bringing himself at the center stage of all the discussions. Aham means I. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Whoever you will offer anything to, whichever god or goddess says, it should ultimately go to Krishna. And Krishna accepts it ultimately through him. But it is an avidhi purvakam. So Krishna is not recommending demigod worship. He is not saying all the gods are same. He's not saying that. Therefore, those who do not recognize my transcendental nature, they will fall down. Eventually, they will fall down. Why? Because when all their demigods will not be able to give them whatever they want perpetually. Whatever demigods are sanctioning also, ultimately that comes from Krishna. And eventually demigods will stop giving you those things. And then you will fall down again. Yanti deva vrata devan, pitru yanti pitru vrataha, bhutani yanti bhuteja, yanti madhya jinopi mam. A different path, different destination. One train going to Chennai, if you want to, you can't say that all trains will take me to Delhi. If you catch a southbound train, it will go to south. It will not go to Delhi from Mumbai. If you catch a eastern bound train, it will go to Kolkata instead of Delhi. But if you want to Delhi, go to Delhi, you have to catch a train which actually goes to Delhi. So those who worship the demigods will take birth amongst demigods. Those who worship ancestors will go to the ancestors, and those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will come to me, will live with me. So different path, different destinations. don't think that whoever I show agarbatti to is all one and the same. Whoever I worship all gods are same. It's stupid. It's not true. So if you and more probably, you don't worship Ganesh ji or Durga ji to go to her planet. You have no idea about it. None of those worshippers want to go, worshippers of Lord Shiva desire worship Lord Shiva so that they can go to Kailash. No, they worship Lord Shiva for what they get from Lord Shiva. They, so that's for the demigod worship is called puja. Whereas with Krishna, we do bhajan. Bhajan is done out of love for Krishna. Puja is a trade. I do this, I give me this. You give me this. When you, even if we want sukha and shanti, we're not asking for anything. जॉब चाहिए, बच्चा चाहिए, पति चाहिए, पत्नी चाहिए, ये सब इतना ग्रॉसली मांग नहीं रहे, पर हमको सुख शांति दे दो भगवान. तो ये भी एक डिमांड है. And so even that is ask. So that is also trade off that you are doing, कि मैं आपको अगरबत्ती दे रहा हूं, आप मुझे सुख शांति दे दो. So Krishna says is not to be done. Chapter 9, last section. We'll go to the question answer. This is the most important section of the whole chapter, the glories of bhakti. And this is the secret part of the intimate secrets are now revealed by Krishna, starting from verse 9.26. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayashchati tadaham bhakti rupaharatam ashnami pratatmanaha. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Here see Krishna, Yashoda Maya is feeding Krishna, Radharani is cooking for Krishna, and Krishna is accepting prasad. So examples of a flower being offered to Krishna by Gajendra. um, can you identify the picture in the middle and the picture, the last picture? Anybody wants to unmute and identify?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Not you,
Pranam.
Vikas Roji. Co-host should not be talking.
Okay,
This
Prabhuji.
is meant for the other participants.
Oh, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, this is that Gajanan story which you have told us that he became the devotee and he at the end gave the lotus flower and Krishna Bhagwan accepted him.
Correct. That's one. Second image,
Second,
leaf. This pastime you remember?
Akshay Patra,
Akshay Patra.
Prabhuji.
Correct. Yeah, that's true. Third one. What you're seeing here is Krishna is eating banana leaves.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, this is Vidura's wife's pastime.
Okay, yeah, you heard that.
Hmm.
So, so Krishna says, thanks everyone. So, thanks for participation. So Prabhupada writes in the purport that for the intelligent person, so it's all about Krishna eats. What do you mean by Krishna eat? For the intelligent person, it is essential to be in Krishna consciousness, engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord in order to achieve a permanent blissful abode for eternal happiness. The process of achieving such a marvelous result is very easy and can be attempted even by the poorest of the poor without any kind of qualification. The only qualification required in this connection is to be a pure devotee of the Lord. The process is so easy that even a leaf or a little water or fruit can be offered to the Supreme Lord in genuine love, and the Lord will be pleased to accept it. Who is such a fool? Prabhupada writes, who is such a fool that he does not want to be Krishna conscious by this simple method and thus attain the highest perfection of life, of eternity, bliss, and knowledge? So, what you are getting in return is so sublime, is so big, is so much. And what is the price that you are paying? Nothing. It's such as you can give a leaf, you can give, all you need is love. All you need to do it with love and devotion. Krishna only wants only loving service and nothing more. Krishna accept even a little flower from his pure devotee. He does not want any kind of offering from a non-devotee. So Duryodhan, when we Krishna visited Hastinapur as a Shantidup, he wanted to allure Krishna. He said, let him stay in the best of palace. Let him be served by best of dasis. Let's offer him a feast. But Krishna says, no, I can't eat at your place. I can't eat at your place. I have no relationship with you. I'm not, you're not my well-wisher, you're not my relative, even though you are a distant relative, you are not my well wisher, you are not my friend. So I cannot accept food at your place. So where will I go? I'll go and eat at the in the home of Vidura. And therefore, where Vidura was when Krishna visited, reached his home, Vidura had gone somewhere out, and Vidurani, who is his wife, he very enthusiastically she collected all the bananas and started offering bananas, started peeling bananas and offering it to Krishna. What she was offering? She was throwing bananas and she was offering banana leaves to Krishna, and Krishna was eating those leaves. So Krishna was happy accepting leaves, even though that's not a portion that we eat. We eat actual banana pulp. But she was in her excitement, in her anxiety, she was throwing banana pulp and she was offering banana leaves to Krishna, and he was happily eating it. Vidura came and he saw that and he was shouting, "What are you doing?" And then she came to her external senses, and then they beg for forgiveness. But Krishna was happy eating banana leaves also. So why he accept? He is not in need of anything from anyone because he is self-sufficient, and yet he accept the offering of his devotee in an exchange of love and affection. To develop Krishna consciousness is the highest perfection of life. Bhakti is mentioned twice in this verse in order to declare more empathetically that bhakti or devotional service is the only means to approach Krishna. No other conditions, such as becoming a Brahmana, learned scholar, very rich man, a great philosopher, can induce Krishna to accept some offering. So this induce word is very important. Induce means he's helplessly accepting whatever you're offering. Krishna becomes helpless. Now that Krishna who is creating unlimited universe, who is annihilating, who is maintaining, who is supporting that universe, who is feeding each and every living entity on this planet. The food is arranged by Krishna. So that Krishna become helpless. It because of the love that we with which we offer. So he's not helpless otherwise, but we can induce Krishna to accept some offering. Without bhakti, nothing can induce the Lord to agree to accept anything from anyone. Without bhakti, nothing can induce the Lord. Induce, it's very important. Think about it. You're forcing Krishna to accept. It's not that Krishna accept because he's hungry. He doesn't need anything. He doesn't want anything from you. But seeing your love, he just can't say no. He has no capacity to say no to you. When you offer it with love and devotion, he accepts it. And that is his great mercy. Bhakti is never casual. The process is eternal. It is direct action in service of the to the absolute whole. Everything you do it for Krishna. Yat karoshi, yat dashnasi, yat juhosi, dadasi yat tapasyasya kaunteya tat kurushva madarpana. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, the and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. शुभ अशुभ फल ही रहेगा ऐसा करने से क्या होगा when you become a pure devotee of Krishna, when you do everything as an offering to Krishna, what happens? शुभ अशुभ फल ही रहेगा मोक्ष से कर्म बंधने संन्यास योग युक्तात्मा विमुक्तो माम उपैष्यसि. In this way you will be freed from the bondage to work, and its auspicious and inauspicious results both. So, karma bandha is the primary bondage because of which we are forced to take repeated birth and repeated death. And Krishna is telling us how you can get rid of all the fruits, accumulated fruits, Shubha as well as Ashubha. It's not future. These are past fruits which have accumulated, because of which you are likely to take next body. So Krishna says you can destroy all of those fruits, auspicious as well as inauspicious results, if you become pure devotee and practice devotional service with love and devotion. In your mind, with your mind fixed upon me, in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. Vimukto mam upeshyasi. You will come to me. सम्मोहम सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेष्योस्ति न प्रियाः ये भजन्ति तु मां भक्त्या मयि ते तेषु चाप्यहम सम्मोहम. I envy no one, nor I am partial to anyone. I am equal to everyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend of mine and is in me, and I am a friend to him. What a beautiful verse. Krishna says, I am otherwise equal to everyone. However, if you become my devotee, uh, then I will favor you. And how? See this. Uh, the Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu, the two examples. Narsimhadev offered his lap to both of them. Hiranyakashipu also he took him on his lap. Prahlad also he took him on his lap. So to that extent, he is equal to both Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad. What he does after taking them on his lap is his reciprocation. Is that action is his reciprocation. So he performed a instant surgery on Hiranyakashipu's stomach, where he rip apart his body. So that's what he did to Hiranyakashipu because of his enmity towards Lord. And he licked Prahlad lovingly, affectionately, by taking him on his lap because of his loving devotion towards Lord. So Lord is equal to everyone, but he is reciprocal also. So the more that we will have, accordingly, Lord will reciprocate with us. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. Krishna says in 4.11 of Bhagavad Gita that as you surrender to me, I will reciprocate with you. How do we get sufferings? Then because if Krishna is the so we classified it in four columns. Karma, time, nature, and swabhava or daiva. So how do we understand that? So karma. So most of our sufferings come because of our past good or bad, ugly activities. The results in enjoyment or sufferings that we experience. Then time. Time is also a critical factor. Due to the effect of time and place, at times we experience sufferings. So these are, for example, if we happen to live in a place which becomes extremely hot in the summers, we will suffer because of our proximity and availability at that time and place. So, nature and swabhava. Due to nature or swabhava of each soul, which has been built because of the past indulgences, also some sufferings and enjoyment can come. So, due to our own mind, thoughts, vritti, one may experience sufferings. So, and the last column is due to daiva, will of the Lord. Due to the will of the Lord, also at times some devotees can go through sufferings. Due to the plan of Krishna. Now, this happens because of the plan of Krishna. There is no karmic bondage because of which they are suffering. But this suffering is part of plan of Krishna. So most of us fall in the first three categories, where where we and when that suffering comes, at times we curse and blame God for giving us those sufferings. We also have desires for enjoyment and doubts and attachments because of which we are not able to surrender to Krishna, and we are not able to become pure devotee of Krishna. But uh, but but daiva, the suffering which are coming out because of the daiva, comes only to the pure devotees. Examples are Pandava, Prahlad Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, gopis. They seemingly they were suffering, but all that was plan of Krishna. They were actually not suffering. In their sufferings also, they were searching for opportunities to love and serve Krishna. Gopis, when Narad Muni went to them, said that a Lord need feet from his dust of his pure devotees, uh, dust from the feet of his pure devotees to get relief from his headache. Gopis told him, Narad Muni, we don't really know if we are devotees of Lord, but that Krishna, we love him so much that I can't bear the thought that he is having a pain, he is having a headache. And if the dust from our feet is going to get any relief to him, if there is any slightest chance of he getting any relief, even for a moment, we are ready to go to hell as a result. So they don't know that even they are devotees of Krishna or not devotees of Krishna. Their love is so deep that they don't even consider themselves as devotees, and they are so humble also. But they said, for the pleasure of Krishna, I can go to hell forever. I can suffer in hell forever if it is going to give some relief, pain relief to Krishna. So that's why Krishna considers them as the topmost devotees. Krishna says, I have nothing which I can offer in return to these devotees, these gopis and Radharani especially. So that much indebted Krishna feels seeing their love for him. अपिचेतु सुदुराचारो भजन्ते माम अनन्य भाक साधुरेव स मन्यत्वः समज्ञ समज्ञं व्यसतो हि सः. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma शश्वच्छन्ति निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रति जानी ही न मे bhakta pranashyati. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotees never perishes. My devotee never perishes. I protect my devotees. What do we need protection for? What do we have actually? Let's look at that. We have material possessions, and we have spiritual possessions. What are our material possessions? We have our own body. We want protection for our body. We have health, mental health, intelligence, everything. We want this to be protected by Lord. We want Lord to protect all of this. Well-being of my family members, my loved ones, my education. My I want to, when I'm appearing for my exams, I want to clear my exams, so that I want Lord to help me do that. My knowledge, my prestige, fame in the society, wealth, positions, social contacts. These are my material positions. And what are my spiritual positions? Mercy or krupa of Guru, devotee association, service or responsibilities in Krishna consciousness, personal sadhana, my personal deities, personal collection of sacred books, brahmanical qualities that I have acquired, sukruti or pious credit that are in my possession. So when Krishna says, I will protect, Krishna is saying that protection is meant for spiritual advancement, not for material advancement, and spiritual protection of his devotees. So how much a devotee, but for why a devotee fall down? So how much a devotee fall down or go away from Krishna depends on his attachment to Krishna and his attachment to sense enjoyment, sense gratification. uh, so when a devotee is an advanced stage, Krishna will provide facilities to arrange for a devotee to come back. The kshipram bhavati dharmatma, even if he performs some abominable action, Krishna will protect him. Krishna will bring him back, make arrangement for that devotee to come back. But how much a devotee will fall, how many errors a devotee will make, depends on his attachment to sense gratification and attachment to Krishna. So, greater the attachment to Krishna, lower the possibility of he doing some error in the bhakti, in the Krishna consciousness. And lesser the attachment to Krishna, which means he is more attached to sense gratification. And sense gratification doesn't only mean having sexual relationship. It means having desire for pride, desire for respect, desire for a desire to become famous. All those are also forms of lust. Is these are also product of lust. This is very subtle product, but that's very gross way lust is expressed. But even that will bring, this can also bring you down. So Krishna is declaring that his unconditional, this is with this declaration that name bhakta pranashyati, no matter if you fall, as long as you're fixed in determination of performing devotional service, I will consider you to be sadhu, no matter even if you have done some abominable action. So Krishna is giving this assurance. Krishna is protecting his devotees because out of his love for the devotees. So this is his expression of love for his devotees. And what should we do? We should reciprocate by ensuring that we don't fall down. We don't fall down, so that we don't force Krishna to protect us. We don't really get into a mess or a situation from where Krishna has to rescue us. By this will be our expression of love for Krishna. That will be our expression for love for Krishna. So we don't wait for his assurances to come good. We don't test Krishna for his assurances given in 30 and 31st verse. We should rather not do wrong things. We should not break regulatory principles. We should not do sinful activities. And thereby can always remain fixed in devotional service, loving devotional service to Krishna. माम ही माम ही पार्थ व्यपाश्रित्य ये अपि स पापयोनयः स्त्रियो वैश्यस्तथा क्षुद्रो स्ते अपि yanti param gatim. O son of Pratha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishya, Shudras can attain the supreme destination. In the material conception of life, there are such divisions. But for a person engaged in transcendental loving service to the Lord, there are no such division. Everyone is eligible to the supreme destination. Everyone can become pure devotee of Krishna in one lifetime and go back to Krishna in at the end of this lifetime. Krishna says further, very beautiful verse. Kim punar brahmanaha punya bhakta rajarshayastataha anityam asukham lokam prapyam imam prapya bhajasvamam. Anitya asukham अशाश्वतम दुखालयम अशाश्वतम असुखम मीन्स दुखालय जहां सुख नहीं है अनित्यम शाश्वत जो शाश्वत नहीं है वो अनित्य है सो the miserable and temporary nature dukhalayam ashashvatam उसी का है another way of saying it is anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasvamam. That how much more this is so of the righteous brahmanas, the devotees and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. And how do you do that? Man mana bhava mad bhakto mad yaji mam namaskaru mam veshyasi yuktatma yuktatvai matmanam mat parayanaha. Engage your mind always in me. Man mana, that always think of me. Man mana bhava mad bhakto. Become my devotee. Become my devotee. Mad yaji. Offer obeisances unto me and mam namaskaru. Pay obeisances unto me. Become my devotee and worship me. Madhyaji means worship me and mam namaskaru means pay obeisances unto me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. So just to summarize, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna and go back to Krishna. During your lifetime, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. End of your lifetime, go back to Krishna. Become devotee of Lord Krishna by associating with other devotees. Perform devotional service, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, while carrying out our prescribed duties. Live peacefully and happily during this lifetime. Go back to Krishna at the end of this lifetime. Facility for hearing and chanting. Every morning japa session that we organize, Vikas Prabhuji very mercifully lead this session along with other wonderful devotees, Ravi Prabhuji, Ashwini Shukla Prabhuji, all of them contribute and they conduct this wonderful japa session from 4:45 to 7:30. All of you are requested to be part of that, invited to be part of that. Or we have Zoom session in the evening, 8:30 to 9:15, where we read Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, one verse we discuss. So with this we come to the end of today's session, chapter 9, where Krishna has explained about the most confidential knowledge, that knowledge of Bhakti Yoga with which you will be able to control Krishna. You will be able to induce Krishna when you offer him with love and devotion. You can conquer Krishna. You can control Krishna. So that knowledge Krishna is giving. Now this knowledge is the most confidential because this is Krishna will not want himself to be controlled by everyone, even though unless they become pure devotees of Krishna. So Krishna is inviting us to become pure devotees of him so that we can also start controlling Krishna. Krishna is happily ready to surrender ourselves to him, to you, all of us, if we choose to become pure devotees of Krishna. So with this, we conclude today's session. We'll see if there are any questions or answers or that we can try and discuss, or else we can conclude today's session. So when the detailed Bhagavad Gita class begin, we'll see after conclusion of this session. Hopefully, we can take detailed sessions where we go verse by verse. We can discuss in more detail. What does Krishna mean when he says in the 9.29 that he is impartial and equal to all? So he's impartially equal to all. Means he says, if you become my pure devotee, I will I will be favoring you. I will favor you. And who can become his pure devotee? All of you. So to that extent, he is impartial. He does not put a condition that those who are born in India are only eligible to become pure devotees. Those who are born in a particular Brahmanical families only should become pure devotees. Those who are not in pure devotee, the Brahmanic born in Brahmanical families, they cannot. It is not based on any discrimination. The opportunity to become pure devotee is equally available to everyone, no matter which is your color of skin, no matter caste, creed, education, wealth, or you're a male, female, but everyone can become his pure devotees. And if you become his pure devotees, Krishna says, I will favor you because you become my friend and you are in me, I am in you. I will favor you. But opportunity to become pure devotee is equally available to everyone without any discrimination. So that's why it is impartially partial. Krishna, he's impartial as far as creating opportunity, giving opportunity to each and every one of us to become his pure devotee. And once we become pure devotees, he become partial with us. Then he will favor us. And so that way he is impartially partial, Krishna. When he's impartial, he's udasina vadasina. He's like a judge in a high court or a supreme court sitting, who is allotting, giving somebody benefit, somebody punishment. He's personally not connected, doesn't delight in giving benefit to somebody. are become painful when he pronounce death penalty to somebody else. He is simply doing it based on evidence that has been put in front of him. So he act like a judge. Prabhupada give example in 9.9 verse where Krishna says udasina vadasina. I become neutral to them. I act neutrally with them. So I I'm neither feeling nor I'm happy nor I become sad for them. I generally feel sad for them because they are going away from me. They have no desire to come to me. So to that extent I'm not happy. Therefore I'm continuously trying to catch their attention so that they all can become pure devotees. But when I'm giving them fruits of the results of their action, I'm udasi now. So like that, we say we understand that what is his partiality, what is his impartiality also. Like Sudama gave, yeah, wonderful example, Vivek Guruji. Sudama gave rice flakes to Krishna. Shakuni also misunderstood Krishna. Yes, detailed sessions are held in Juhu temple. One is held in Lokhandwala temple also. In Lokhandwala also we have Jagannath temple where a detailed Bhagavad Gita class is currently going on, but that also happens online. But Shantivadan Prabhuji is taking that session. They probably are in advanced stage, and hopefully they will start a new batch as well there. And those are also transmitted online. The Zoom sessions are available for that also. So all of you are feel free to attend those classes as well once we are done with this 18 session Bhagavad Gita. So let's go to the other section. How do you draw a line between crossing worldly Maya and doing duties for your family? Doing duties for our family has to be done anyway, and that can be done even without being in Maya. When we when we basically when we think of our family members, all, the reality is this, that your family member, your spouses, your children, your parents are not your eternal associates. In previous birth, they were somebody else's. They belong to someone else. In the next birth, also they will belong to someone else. There's a beautiful katha which comes uh, in Bhagavatam that a king and a queen had a son, and the son departs at an early age, and is being envious the other queens. They feed him with poison and the son dies, and then the Narad Muni comes there, and he brings the son back, and then the son is speaking with the parents, with asking the parents that who are you. He said, "Oh, you just left this body." But he says, "I have had many, many parents, millions and millions of parents. So it's not, we don't have to think that these are our only set of parents. These are our only set of spouse and children. We've had millions and millions of parents and spouses and children in our all previous births, in all kind of bodies. So currently, we have current set of parents, current set of spouse, current set of children, and we should be dutiful to them, knowing fully that they are in your custody. Your children are in your custody. Your spouse is given. You are given the duties. There, all of these, there are duties associated with all these bodily relationships, and we should do our duties with love and care. However, if we start thinking that they happen to be mine and I'm theirs, and we will we will probably be in this relationship in birth after birth, and this ownership concept is where we cross the line. We don't own anyone. So when the moment we start owning things, thinking that we own this, that's it, be it in a relationship, be it in the possessions. So everything is been given to us for a temporary period. We can't own anyone permanently. We can't own anything permanently. Only thing we will own is our own consciousness, our own desire to love and serve Krishna. That is the only thing that we possess, that we own. But other thing, everything else is temporary. When we forget about this temporary nature, we have crossed the line. We are in Maya. As long as we know this temporary nature, parents are there today, they will be gone tomorrow. And as long as they are here, I'm supposed to do my duty nicely. I'm supposed to serve them nicely. So if that is the consciousness, then we are doing our duty with love and care. At the same time, we are not getting entangled. So when we and that way we can be a devotee, a nice devotee, and we can still be a nice parent, a nice children ourselves, and do our duties very nicely without really getting attached to it. Swapnil Roji, you have a question?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Uh, Prabhuji, today's session was very enlightening, uh, and we got to know about devotee and a non-devotee. So my question here is, when how to uh, get categorized in a devotee or a non-devotee? If you see the loyalty towards Krishna, is it what we say a devotional loyalty towards Krishna is a devotee, whereas loyalty, when the loyalty shifts away from Krishna and the devotional loyalty shifts away from the Krishna, then he is a non-devotee. Because in Mahabharata also we saw there were a lot of great personalities like Bhishma, like Dronacharya, like Vidur. They were loyal towards Hastinapur, but they were identifying Krishna as a supreme lord. But still, because of their loyalty, uh, they were in the war on the opposite side. So in our today's yuga, Kali Yuga, how do we see devotees and non-devotees? How do we categorize Prabhuji
So
as a devotee and non?
Hare Krishna,
Hare
thank you so
Krishna.
much. Yeah, thank you
London.
so much for this wonderful question. So, as a part of pastime, in the slide that we saw, Bhishma, the Janati, Avajanati, and Ajanati, the classification. On the slide that we discuss about Bhishma Dev, what we mentioned there is that Bhishma was given a difficult service to fight war from the opposite side of the Lord. Given a choice, he knew Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But if he is given a service, what will he do? As a pure devotee, will he do any service? Even if it means fighting a war against your beloved Lord and hitting him with arrows, if that is a service, that is a service. If it is given by Krishna, uh, Bhishma accepted it, and it also meant that you become infamous because you always lived in Hastinapur, you witness all the wrongdoings, and you are part of the wrong. Oh, the whole lot of wrong things were happening around in Hastinapur, and Bhishma, being so-called loyal to Hastinapur Gadi or Rajya Satta, he became part of that sinful activities also. So and the world criticized him for being that doing that. So in multiple ways, it's a it's a lose lose situation for Bhishma to be on the Hastinapur side. One, you are becoming infamous for doing all the right. All righteous people will start calling you badly because you're doing all the right, participating in all right wrong things. Plus, you are fighting a war against Lord, which you are sure to lose, and that will cause your death. So instead of doing this, he could have easily shifted to the side of Pandavas. But then the war itself would not have happened because Bhishma was the most formidable warrior on the Duryodhana side. So you need to create some balance in order for war to begin. And Krishna wanted ultimately war to take place because he had a plan to kill all those miscreants who had assembled there, and Krishna would have had it not been done, had this war not happened, he would have done something else to get to kill those people. But it was his desire ultimately that the war should happen. So Bhishma also fought war as a service from the opposite side. Similarly, Arjuna also fought the same war as a service to Krishna from his side. So their pastimes are, so they're part of the pastimes, and hence it's can be understood in that way. In the Kali Yuga, in the current age, those people are not performing pastimes. People are, when they are not, they are ignorant about Krishna. They think themselves as their body. They think at a bodily level, they perform all sinful activities. They are not doing it as part of pastime. This is not Leela that they are participants, and they're doing it out of their own sinful desires. They are fulfilling their own sinful reactions, and then they're they're too attached to doing those sinful actions because of their past indulgences, which they are, even if sometimes they hear, they are unable to give it up. So that way, we have to understand that Kali Yuga and Bhishma, they are not comparable in that sense, because Kali Yuga people are bound people. Bhishma was always liberated person, and then he was doing it as a service to Krishna. So that's how we should understand.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Um, yeah, as with instruction, it's a Krishna Lila, such as Bhishma. Vivek Prabhuji is correctly classifying it. So didn't see any other questions. Let's conclude today's session. And as I said, we'll be in the heart of Bhagavad Gita. So 10,
Hare Krishna,
11,
Prabhuji.
12. Yes, Prabhuji?
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. One more question has come from Vivek Prabhuji just now.
Okay, okay. Is offering work done done other than, okay, let me just, offering work done other than leaf work done other than the leaf or fruits is okay to Krishna if due to uncontrollable situations I can't offer leaf or fruits to Pratima. So Krishna is not is Krishna in his Pratima or his deity? What is the question, Vivek Prabhuji? Can you offer leaf to Krishna or fruit to Krishna Pratima? Is that the question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
I was saying that is the work done during my daily routine. So to Krishna, okay, other than the leaf and fruit which I can't offer due to the time bound and other things.
Okay, okay. So can I offer my work to Krishna? Definitely, Prabhuji. So we can't, we are not working for Krishna. So as a result of our activities, work done, whatever we get, a part of that can be offered to Krishna. So that way our whole work gets purified. Also, the leaf or the fruit, we can offer it to Krishna Pratima every day. We can have DT, beautiful Radha Raspberry picture in our home, to whom we can offer a flower, we can offer fruit, we can offer some bhoga, we can offer milk in the morning, then with fruit in the maybe evening, or whatever gets cooked in our home. And I'm sure you're not cooking onion garlic, so practically whatever you cook in your home, you can offer it as a meal to Krishna. So everything can be offered to Krishna. You can offer bhoga, daily bhoga to Krishna. Whatever gets cooked in the home can be, some portion of it can be removed, put it on a plate and offer it to Krishna, and then everything else can be taken by others. Fortunately, most of you are living in a family with living with families where meat eating is not there, where onion garlic is not cooked. So it's very easy. Offering is very easy. The what where the verse that Krishna speaks is probably the lowest condition, where somebody has nothing else but water to offer. Krishna says, I will take that also. But that's not, but that is kind of a, the bar is set so low that nobody can claim to have not have water. Nobody can claim not to have leaf or a flower to offer, because that they are available in anyway, or a fruit to offer. So Krishna sets the bar of becoming pure devotee so low that practically everyone can become pure devotee. Because offering a leaf, nobody can claim that I don't have a leaf. There are trees around, pick up any leaf and offer it to Krishna. Krishna accepts it. Now, it's a so that way Krishna is saying that setting the bar very low, so that each and every soul, whichever body he is in, human body, gets an opportunity to become pure devotee of Krishna. Krishna said, the moment you become devotee, I've become partial to you. Then I will favor you, I will protect you, I will yoga kshema vahamyaham. Even if you fall down, I will protect you. I will send devotees in your life who will encourage you, who will remind you to join japa session, who will tell you to give up your sinful activities, who will who will do everything for you to become a devotee once again. And then my devotees will never perish. And he's asked Arjuna to declare so that Krishna will keep his word. Krishna is expert in breaking his own word. Krishna has done that many times. He took a vow: I will never fight, I will not pick up a weapon. But to break, uh, he didn't mind breaking his own vow to keep vows of Bhishma and vows of Arjuna. He wanted to protect Arjuna and all the Pandavas, and he wanted Bhishma's words also to come true, that I will force Krishna to break his vow. So Krishna is happily breaking his own vow. Therefore, Krishna is asking Arjuna, you declare. And if you declare, I will protect your words. Narad Muni gave benediction uh, to sons of Kuvera, that you become trees. Now Krishna, when he became Krishna, he appeared in a Gokul. He remembered Narad Muni's words. He wanted to deliver those two trees, Gandharva Putra, Kuber Putras also. So after getting tied to the mortar, he went in the courtyard and he ensured that he breaking those trees to release those two Kuber Putras, who became beautiful pure devotees of Krishna and went back to his abode. So he makes sure that words of his devotees are um, never defeated. So he protect the words of his pure devotees, and hence he asked Arjuna to declare it boldly, O Arjuna, that my devotees will never perish. So that way, we so we can offer everything to Krishna, and Krishna will protect us in our spiritual life.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So there are no more questions. I think we can conclude today's session. So please keep joining all the sessions. We are we're crossing. We'll discuss chapter 10 in the next Sunday. We'll see if we can arrange for some sessions from senior devotees about japa. I'm thinking of that. We'll try and arrange it as soon as possible. On one of the Sundays, we'll have, instead of having Bhagavad Gita lecture, we'll have japa session, where one of our senior devotees can come and talk to us about japa, talk to us about other the four regulatory principles, so that we become more inspired and more enlivened, more energetic to perform devotional service with more enthusiasm, and that way we progress nicely towards Krishna. So let's conclude today's session. जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय, शील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल, हरे कृष्णा टू एवरीवन.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Dandavat pranam,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna,
thank you
Krishna
so much.
Prabhuji,
Dandavat
Dhanavad
Pranam
Pranam.
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you, Prabhuji.